Make that trail face.
This is Make That Trail Face Radio. I had a wonderful week, but first, before I get into that, let me just give a shout out real quick to the team. We got Brian Halley on the board, MK Films behind the camera. No DJ this week. I just wanted to test some new things out. So, first off, before I introduce this person, I want to introduce myself because I met her and we really didn't talk like that. But hi, I am on Trail Web and you are?
Adrienne Phillips.
Adrienne Phillips.
Yes.
All right, and I actually met her that was your son's event, the yacht party, right?
Yes, the all-white party.
All-white yacht party, which was lit. Y'all, if y'all see my camera work, y'all saw I got the recap of all that. Some stuff I couldn't put on camera, and some stuff I could, but it was pretty nice, and I seen her there. So everybody, please give her a round of applause. How you doing?
Y'all, I always clap for myself.
Oh, okay. What about snaps? I know a lot of people, they snap for themselves.
Oh, no. I clap because I'd have to clap loud so I can hear myself, yeah.
Alrighty then.
Basically, yeah.
So first tell me, where are you from?
I'm from Chicago, in an area better known as Ward. It's off of 79th and Damon between Ashland.
Okay. And you was out there like the beginning of your childhood, or?
Yeah, I was, not in that area. I grew up on the east side of Chicago when we started out. That's when the first interaction with the police started. I was about 5, and the man that I thought was told that was my father, he had killed the landlord, shot him in the face like 6 times. And so that was like around the early 70s, like 70, 71.
Okay.
And when the police came, and back then it was a lot of prejudice things going on. They had jumped on my mother. They arrested him, and me, my sister, and brother. We're afraid, so we started running and hiding. We hid in the closet, and they came in the closet and pulled pistols on us. And so it was Channel 7, Channel 5. All the channel stations were outside, and they took us out with pillowcases over our heads, the children. So the guy that I assumed who was my father killed, his kids was affiliated with the Blackstone Rangers. So we, at that point, had to run, me and my mother and my 2 siblings.
Okay.
So we were always on the run. So that was the first time I started running. They ended up giving him penitentiary time, and so my mother was a single mother. She was working with Harold Washington at the time, the Chamber of Commerce. We ended up moving on 79th, right off 80th and Damon. At this point, it's still in the 70s. It was like 4 other black families within the 2 blocks area, and 3 of the women were single women, like my mother, and they had daughters. One was Mrs. Wiley, Mrs. Howard, and my mother, Mrs. Holmes, and they all had girls.
Okay.
So it was really hard at that time for us to even go to school over there. When we moved over there, me, my sister, and brother, we had to stay at the old school because of the area and the racism. Okay, and so after then, my mother wasn't at home a lot, so I did what I wanted to do. I got affiliated with the Gangster Disciples, and
But you lived in an area where the Blackstone Rangers?
No.
Okay.
That was over on the east side. No, when I moved over in Ward, that's what it was. And so eventually a lot of blacks started moving in, and I got affiliated at a younger age. I was in grammar school, and I was just off the chain, just doing all kind of things.
Okay.
I didn't have to. I didn't come from a family like that. Then, at the age of 13, I found out who my real father was, and that's how I ended up in Aurora.
Oh, okay.
He lived in Aurora.
Okay, so you came out here.
I started visiting him.
Okay.
I started meeting people here, and it was slow for me because I was really fast for my age. I got into a lot of trouble at a young age. I was on probation until I turned 18. I was always in the system some type of way. I surrounded myself around people who lived in the projects because those were my friends, as I thought, I used to like the steps, so that's what I did. Once I moved to Aurora, I moved to Aurora. Well, I ended up going to college,
Oh, what college did you
Southern
attend?
University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, my God.
And my first boyfriend, which we was boyfriend and girlfriend since like about 6th grade. He was there first, and then I ended up going there. So once we finished, I ended up getting pregnant, and then we started selling drugs in Chicago. He was affiliated with the Gangster Disciples as well, and we started selling drugs. And I had my son, and I can remember it was 1983. It was New Year's Eve, and they came and raided my mother's house, and it was really bad. They took everything, money, drugs, and the bad thing about it that they didn't put it in evidence.
Still to
Jewelry,
this day,
everything.
they didn't.
They just kept it. They just had a wonderful New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was
So
a party. Okay.
I didn't go to jail, but my husband did.
Okay.
So at that point, I was working. I was making $45,000 a year, doing good, doing very well. The job folded up on me instantly. He was a silent partner, which I didn't know. And he called and said, we have to evacuate the building by 11 o'clock. It was 10 o'clock. So now, I got a beautiful apartment, beautiful car. This is my life. And it folded up. I drew unemployment. So how I ended out here in 89, my dad, he had a birthday party at the Walker's Payton's place up in Oak Brook. And I had on my little suit and my little shoes. And after the party, I went to his house in Aurora.
Okay.
So he went to work, and I woke up that morning, and I was like, I got to do something. So I got the yellow pages.
Okay.
I said, I got to find a job. I started with
Throw
the
back.
A's. Yeah, I started with the A's, right?
Right.
There's nothing I can do in A's. So I went to the B's, and I was like,
Okay.
banks. Okay, so I started calling around. I got an interview at this Merchants Bank out here.
Uh-huh.
Now, in between all of this, I was having some type of activity with checks, that wasn't right.
Okay.
But, so I started working at the bank, and it was crazy. They had me to go into the vault, and I was in there for about 2 minutes. I said, excuse me, ma'am. I said, could you please take me up out of here? I said, I can't work in here. She was like, well, you have to get trained. Not in here, please. So
You felt nervous or something? Or?
yeah, it's too much money
Too
for
much
me.
money,
Yeah,
right,
too much
right.
money. I know me.
Oh,
Yeah.
and when you say you just,
Yeah, I
how
would-
you knew you was grew up around that time,
right,
you was
right.
ready to,
I
on a
would have
quick
took all
come
their
up.
money.
You would have took all
I
their
would have
money.
took all their money.
Okay,
I would have
well.
had money everywhere.
Yeah.
Shoes, socks, ears, nose.
So you couldn't even
everywhere.
last 5 minutes. You said, get me up out of here. I'm sweating.
No, it was too much. No.
All right, so the lady came and got you up out of there. She evacuated you away
Right.
from the $2 million or whatever.
Yeah, and I left there, and I'm going to reroute back.
Okay.
I found out who my father was.
Okay.
Because I was a cheerleader in grammar school, and you have to get a physical, and they found out that I had sickle cell trait. Now, sickle cell trait, you inherit from one of your family members, your father or your mother. And my mother didn't have it, so she finally told me who my father was. And we looked just like twins, so that's how I ended up in Aurora. But go back, so I stopped. But working at the bank, I realized that in my criminal mindset at the time, that this is simple, So after I started working there, I got a crew together, and I'm thinking like, okay, we could do this. At 12 o'clock every day, people come in from lunch to cash checks. As long as they got a uniform on and one of those little badges where they work at, they don't have to show an ID.
Oh, so you had some people.
So that was my MO. I started that. So then it went back to hustling in the streets, and so I ended up having a case with Kane County, Kendall County, Cook County, and DuPage County.
All at the same time?
Cook was the last one. I had Kendall, Kane, and DuPage. So I hired a lawyer because they ended up raiding our house. Both me and my husband. This is another husband. I'm like Elizabeth Taylor, though. I'm not even going to start counting.
No, you can laugh. No, your friend laughing. No. Ain't anybody in here find this funny? Laugh. I do not care. We good.
Listen. No. I got her beat for real.
Okay.
So anyway, this is my husband, and And he was from the west side of Chicago.
Okay, out west. Okay.
Yeah.
My
He's
guy on
from
the board,
west
he's
side
from
of
out
Chicago,
west.
Yeah. And we thought it was sweet out here, and we started doing what we do.
Right.
And being flashy and all that. But anyway,
Okay.
so they kept coming to my house. Kendall, Kane, and DuPage me to do written analysis, and I wouldn't do it for busting checks.
Okay.
So eventually, I wasn't aware that when you cross Route 59, on one side is Kane County and the other side is DuPage, because I would never have did anything illegal in DuPage, because I know they're 99.9 conviction rate. But I didn't know. So I crossed the street and they waited for me.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And actually that I had went to jail, so I got a lawyer. I was fighting the case. So they ran everything concurrent. That means that it was 3.5 years, but they ran it all together. So this was in the 90s. So I thought I was really smart. I was ready to go. He said, I'll give you 30 days to get your life straight, the judge did.
Okay.
Well, when the 30 days came, I was going to turn myself in, but I seen the Aurora Transportation Center with that train going to Chicago. I said, I'm not going to be able to do it. So I went on the run.
Wow. Before we get into that, you're going to run, I do know your son. So what other kids do you have?
Mercedes,
and just those two? Or?
Right.
Okay.
I have other children. They're not my blood children.
Okay.
But they are my children.
They are your children. Okay, cool. I just wanted to get that step. So this is when you had both of them that you started to go around, or
right. Mercedes. Okay. Well, I think Mercedes was like 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was about 7, and your son. Is it? I want to call him Sid. What's his name?
Reggie.
Reggie. All right, cool. So Reggie, he was about how old?
Reggie had been about maybe 14.
Okay, 14. Okay.
Yeah, 14. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. So yeah, getting back to the whole thing. You don't want to go on the commute. You went to on the run.
Yeah, to Chicago. Not far. Yeah, to Chicago. Yeah.
Of course. So you went on the run, and then when was it that they caught up with you?
It was about maybe about 8 months later. What happened was the following Mother's Day, I was like, I hadn't seen my kids, and I borrowed a car from someone in Chicago, and I got on the expressway, and I was pulling up in Tall Oaks, and my son, he was like, Mom, you got to get out of here. You was the Aurora Most Wanted this Sunday in the paper, He said, so, I only seen a glimpse of him, and I turned around, got back on the expressway. So I'm in Chicago, and actually, I'm dealing. The police caught me. And they caught me a couple times, and I was lying about who I was. But this last time, they caught me. I was so tired. I was missing my kids. I just told them my name. I said, and I told them, I'm wanted. I'm wanted in 3 counties. Take me in.
Let's do this. Let's get this over with.
Right.
Okay.
So I called Fred, my lawyer. I said, Fred?
Fred?
Fred Morelli. I said, Fred? I said, I'm in the county jail, Cook County. He said, where have you been? They've been looking for you. I said, Fred, I'm tired. I said, but can you do me a favor? He's like, what? I said, can you ask the judge to forgive me and still give me the same amount of time? He said, well, I don't know about that. But anyway, so when I had to go back to each county, they said, no, we're going to run this wild. So I had to do separate time for each one of them.
Yeah.
I ended up going to the penitentiary, and it wasn't like it is today, because it was a different type of crowd down there, different people, like different women. Like the women that's there now, like I would say about 45% of them are either in there for killing their baby, killing somebody who molested their baby, killing their boyfriend, and they're young.
And do you think that this is like more of a mental thing, or just like a emotional thing? Like,
you know what? What I believe it is that we don't offer these ladies anything. Like, for example, I would say for example, Aurora, we have 24-hour daycare. A 24-hour daycare, actually, these women who want to go out and clubbing, or women need to go to work, instead of taking your baby to anybody's house and chance of things happening, somebody open up a 24-hour daycare. Okay. A lot of kids, a lot of mental illness start at a young age, and that's because, and bullying.
Yeah. starts because
Right, because of the way the kids' appearance are, because they don't have these type of gym shoes or their hair is a certain way. If they open up a 24-hour daycare, got some beauticians, some barbers in there to do these kids' hair, donate some nice gym shoes and clothes to these kids, they won't be bullied.
And that's why
And
like
it
I just
starts
paused
here.
like that just so y'all know. Like me and her had a discussion about this before when we first talked, and she was letting me know all this, like telling me what it is she trying to do, what it is she feel like the problem in Aurora, who she is. So I'm kind of hipped on what she's saying. I'm like, oh yeah, you did say that. So don't mind my facial expressions right now. But getting back into you being incarcerated, how long? What altogether? All the numbers. So how long was it?
My total incarceration, I always say I was doing a life sentence on installments. My total incarceration time was about 10 years.
Okay. 10 years. All right. I'm not saying that's not bad. Like I ain't
I mean,
never
it's
been in
not,
jail,
it was, well, the first set, I've been 3 times. The first set, it wasn't, I mean, I don't think that I really learned anything. I didn't learn anything until this last one.
Okay.
And I was so mad at God because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't selling drugs. I wasn't doing anything. But the recession had hit and I lost everything. I had a beautiful home. I was making $120,000 a year. And I started surrounding myself around them people, places, and things. And I ended up catching a case which wasn't it wasn't in my possession, but it was in the vehicle. And because my background was that product, I ended up catching a case, and I got sent back down. This time was different. This time I went in because I couldn't understand what was going on. I was doing so well.
Yeah.
You know, how could I just lose everything through the recession? What happened was I came home and I just started thinking about me, and forgot about what got me to where I was at. So on this last bit here, I sat down and I made a plan. I did a plan. I did a 5-year plan.
Okay.
I talked to a lot of different women. Matter of fact, Wednesday, I'm going downtown to court. I've been fighting for this girl, Angel's locked up for murder, and I'm going in front of the parole board to speak on her clemency. So I started talking because I realized that as long as I stay involved in what's going on in the penal institution, that it would help me stay out of there. You know?
That's a good way to look at it. Definitely.
So, and then addiction. I had, I was on drugs.
Okay.
And I try to stay involved with different people. I try to do a lot of different things, and it's a lot of things that I got going on. Also, people don't understand when we go through intake in the penitentiary,
Right.
they give everybody a psych evaluation before you're able to hit ground.
Okay.
Now, they do that because they assume based on your crime, they need to put you on medication, which this medication is not based on what you're doing your crime on. What it's doing is making you look like zombies in there.
Yeah.
That's where the officers, they don't have to work. They don't have to do anything because you're sleeping all the time. My point is that why when we transition back into the world, you give us a parole officer instead of a mentor?
Right.
Okay, a parole officer, a person you're gonna check in and you're gonna do a drop. A mentor, grab someone successful who's been to the penitentiary. People don't know what goes on behind those walls.
That's crazy you say that. I don't mean to cut you off. Our last guest from last week was Andy Williams. I'm pretty sure you said you know him.
Yeah, very well.
Saw him grow up.
Yes.
He was saying that too about how all these people want to come into this candidate of knowing what's going on with the minority and stuff like that, and they haven't been, to the penitentiary and know different things of mental illness and things like that. So, I mean, I feel like y'all are on the right track as far as that perspective. But going back to what you were saying, you feel that it's hard for women to transition?
It is hard.
Okay.
Because all you know is where you've been. So when you transition out here, you actually going back to the same people, places, and things.
Right.
But if they got someone out here that's been to the penitentiary,
Right.
that's successful now and can show you how to be successful, how to make a change in your life. Someone like me, because I am successful right now.
Yep.
And it wasn't easy.
We're gonna get into talk about that too in the next segment that I have called Entrepreneur Shout Out. I do want to give you an entrepreneur shout out because you was telling me about different ways. You a hustler too, by the way. Like I
Most
applaud
definitely.
you. And it was a situation. Matter of fact, I am gonna jump around with this because I want to know about this a little bit more. You was in Atlanta at one point in time, and you was helping people like get to work or something like that? You was doing like sort of like a Lyft or a taxi
No,
service?
I'm doing that right now.
You're doing that right now still?
Yes.
Okay, cool. But it started, when did that start?
It started in, I left my job January the 2nd.
Okay.
And how this started was, I always wanted to do something to help the girls at the work release center.
January the 2nd this year?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
So I decided that I was going to incorporate a business, an LLC. It's called.
You got my women on here getting lit. They talking about speak. Yes, queen. Veronica's, you dig? Y'all lit. Hey, I can have more women on my show, y'all. But go ahead. So you want to help the women?
Yeah.
And like
So what I did was I incorporated a business, and I was trying to find a name, Queen or something. But my nickname is Voogie. Everybody know me by Voogie. So my daughter was like, "Mom, use Voogs Transportation." So I did that. So I worked closely with the women at the work release center, the officers and stuff. So I went there. I said, "Look," I said, "I want to open up this business. I want to transport these girls back to work, back and forth to work, instead of taking a cab, so that they'll have more money to transition back in the world if I can save them a discount."
They can save up,
So the director gave me a certain quote. So I did a little traveling a little bit, and I came back. My daughter Jamaica did a business proposal for me. The business proposal was accepted, but the figures didn't match, and I couldn't work for that. So now I have this business. So my son was like, "Mom, why don't you see if Uber or Lyft will let you work up under your business?" Uber did. Okay. So in the mid, and God knows, I could never see myself driving nobody around. I couldn't see it. But you know what? Let me tell you something. That's my calling. I've met so many people. Everything I've asked God for understanding and knowledge, He has placed people in my vehicle to give it to me. So it's been a blessing. So I started working for them, and then I started running into different people. Like one lady, women that's single, that's on Match.com. She was. And she was like, I said, "Well, let me ask you a question, because I run my mouth a lot." I said, "So do the guy pick you up from your house on the first day?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Don't do that." I said, "Book me through my business.
Yeah, I
will take you on your date. I'll give you a flat rate, take you on your date." So the first person I took, it was downtown. I took them on their date. Everything worked out. I made good money. She started referring me to her friends.
Right.
I have a group of guys at the sugar factory in Montgomery. They work here, but they live in Florida. I take them to the airport. I just reach out to different people. But my thing is, the reason why I wanted to go into transportation, because everything that comes here, it comes on a boat, train, or plane. It got to get on some wheels.
Right.
Transportation is the money. And the big thing coming with this dispensary, coming with this marijuana.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to take a class. It's a 3-day class to get certified to transport.
Oh, you about to be the weed lift? What? Yo! Alright, so with that, dang, so much I'm finding out. I don't even know how I can get to my other questions. But no, I want to hear about this. So you say it's a 3-day course? Or?
Yes, it's 3. Okay, my son Reggie, he went to a seminar the other day.
Okay.
And he always have good ideas. He always, "Mom, this is," so I have to call them tomorrow. The only thing, the question that I have is that I know the drug cases doesn't matter. It's the theft. But the theft was 22, 23 years ago. So I have to talk to them tomorrow. Tomorrow morning I have to call them, and they're going to check into it. But if all is well, not only me, but my son, my daughter, it's going to be a business thing.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to hop on that.
I know, right? I know.
I get some customers. I think a couple of them right now viewing, they might need you to slide. But that's once you get certified, of course. She's not just going to transport weed or anything. Like, we ain't doing that. So, your plan to help women, how long has that been? Was that before you was incarcerated?
No, it was actually after. It was actually this last bit here. I've been home, it'll be 7 years, April 21st. And actually I came home, my daughter picked me up from Dwight, and I had just the panties and bras. I had clothes on, but I didn't have nothing else. I had to buy new clothes, new panties, new bras, everything. And it's crazy. I've never did labor work before, but I started working in a factory, a plastic factory. I was sweating and making $8 an hour, but I had to come up, But the first 2 weeks I was at home, I came home. I said, because I had a plan, and I said, okay, first of all, let me go on here, Credit Karma, and dispute all my credit. Okay. because I've been gone.
Right.
So I disputed, went through. Then I went on, I Googled to get a credit card with bad credit. First Premier popped up.
Okay.
I paid the security deposit to get those cards. My first check, I went to Value City and put my furniture in layaway. I ain't never did layaway. Put my furniture in layaway.
Why you say like you always think like I don't never do layaway?
No, but I mean, like coming from where I was before I got locked up to coming home.
Yeah.
But I asked God for patience.
Yeah.
You know, I had to take baby steps. I saved my money and got me an apartment.
That's what Veronica just said. Obedience over sacrifice. So
yes,
I
definitely. Yes.
Cool.
And so yeah, and my kids are my biggest cheerleaders. You know, all my kids. I have quite a few.
Let's hear it for our kids, y'all. Everybody, let's hear it for the kids. If your kids watching, hey, y'all. All right. So you do it for the kids. All right. And so they call you mom or they call you what?
They call me mom.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They better not call me nothing else.
The ones that's not even my blood kids call me mom.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. So do you have like any like seminars you want to do for the women or to sit down and talk with them?
Basically, what I want to do is they have, so the prison is overcrowded right now. Like I said, I've been talking to the officers at the Work Release Center. Now the ladies are able to come home 9 months short because they're crowded, but they have to have somewhere to go. So right now, I'm in the process of getting my finances together because this is my plan. It has been my plan is to open up a halfway house. Not just any halfway house. Not like a halfway house you leave in prison going to another prison. I'm talking about a halfway house that looks like my house. So women, nice countertops, nice 800 count sheets, because you're in prison, you give them little bitty knots in the sheets and stuff. You know, teach them what forks, what spoons to use, teach them how to dress, mentor them basically.
That was a show. No, I mean, because it was like a show that kind of like that with Monique Parker. She did like Charm School or something like that on VH1. And that's all I'm visualizing. You pretty much helping women and putting them up on game. So if they do go on a date with the guy, they know how to, carry themselves, how to sit properly, how to use what shrimp fork or something like that to use. That's pretty much what you, going to present to them.
Present to them how to get a job.
That too.
How to be successful.
Most, of course, because they got to get their own money.
The first thing should be from their mind is a man. Because, you need to work on yourself. If you work on yourself, then you go look for a man. Because if you don't have nothing to bring to the table, you're not going to get that right man.
Hey, talk to him.
So, therefore, you can't get that king unless you're a queen now.
Man.
Yeah.
And a man that finds a good thing, or find a woman that finds a good thing, right?
That's right.
Is that the word? Is that the word, y'all?
That is absolutely right. That's absolutely right, yeah.
So you plan on doing that, opening up that. So your first step, I don't mean to get too much into depth of what you plan on to doing, but what's the first step that you're trying to execute so that you can get to this plan? Is there anything that, like any events you got coming up?
No, what it is that, so I went to, they were accepting applications for federal loans, grants, and they won't even let me submit one because they said I need experience in working with the nonprofit. Okay. This is something that I plan on doing, not in the near future, but I'm preparing myself for it to basically just do it under my name.
A not-for-profit under your name?
No, to buy property to open up this halfway house, so that these women can transition there. And once you have, it's called a change of mind, a change of atmosphere, a change of everything, then you want to change. You're hungry for it. I'm hungry for life. I'm hungry for success. Every day I wake up, and what they fail to realize, and this is something that I forgot about on my second bit. When I wake up now, I know it's a struggle. It's a struggle for me to stay clean. It's a struggle for me to do the right thing. And so it's an everyday process. I can never let that go. Otherwise, I'm not going to never stay successful. It took me to do that to get to where I'm at today, And so I started working for this furniture company, which I didn't furnish everybody's house. Okay. And
this is what year?
When I came, after I capped, I was there for like 5 years.
Okay.
Right there on Indian Trail.
Right.
That's where I left. That's the company I left. Anyway, so I had decided in my 5-year goal, it was to buy a car. You know, every April 21st is like the day I was born. That was the day I paroled out. That's my new birthday.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
got you. That's your new birthday.
Yeah,
got
so I treat myself. So anyway, so I said I'm gonna get me a car. I want my car paid off. I'm gonna get me a house. I was gonna get a condo. My mind said condo because I knew it was affordable. I didn't want to lose anything else because I lost a nice house in Aurora during the recession.
Gotcha.
And so I was working.
So you have owned property before?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Couple of them. Yeah. So when I was ready, I knew it was time. I went back to Talos where I owned property at before, and where everybody grew up at. I just had a thing for Talos. And I met with a guy, and he gave me a verbal agreement. He would sell it to me, so I'm ready. The next day, I go to meet with them. He said a group of people bought them because he had 4. So I went and opened up the store. I'm crying. I'm depressed, and I went online, and Plano came up. And I said, I sold a lot of furniture in Plano. What's in Plano?
Right.
So this subdivision came up, and they was like, the price was great. They were building. So I Googled it. I went out there, and I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. Is this what God got for me? They said, we only got 3 left. So my daughter, Jamaica, she always got money, right? Now I'm out here trying to build a house. I don't have no money. So Jamaica got money. Okay. So I went to her house. I said, Jamaica, get up, come on. She was like, what, Mom? I said, I want you to see this. And we went out there and seen it. The lady said I had to put down $5,000. So Monday, Jamaica gave me the $5,000. Monday, I went and put it down, and I started. But it was so hard, and I wanted to give up because they kept asking me for stuff. I just bought a car. They say you got to pay the car off. That's $13,000. They say you got to put down another $20,000.
On the car?
No.
Oh, okay.
$20,000 for the house.
For the house, okay. Oh, okay. So the house was asking for $20,000 in the
and
car.
then they were asking me to pay the car off.
Okay.
For 13. So it was all these big numbers was coming at me. My brain was going one way because now I have to get this house, but in another way I was like, I gotta figure this out. At the point I was in a relationship with a guy named Lavelle, and he helped me a lot. My children helped me a lot. I started opening the store up on Sundays. I started having a Facebook page for people in Chicago so they can call in. I started having them take pictures of the inside their house so I could match up furniture, get them financed over the phone.
You were hustling, hustling.
I came up with that money.
Ain't no wrong with that. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. And you did mention that the guy that you was working for at that time at the mattress company.
At the furniture store.
Yeah. So he didn't excuse my French, kind of fuck you over a little bit or something like that?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I made him a lot of money. Yeah. And he started he was on the back scene, and he started taking customers' money. Like a person was getting financed for $3,000, they only used $1,000. He was using the other $2,000. But keep in mind, my background is forgery. So only person they seeing is me. So and he was, and I'm like, are you stealing from these people? What's going on? So I had to walk away from that situation because I don't need another case, and people was calling the police. So I contacted the finance companies, I contacted the police, I contacted everybody, let them know this is not me. I'm out of here. So 5 months later, he was out of business.
Wow.
Because
he was trying to get over on people.
Yes.
Like
yes. And I'm not about that.
And that's good. You seem very, you hold yourself like a queen. You're very righteous, very honest from what I'm seeing. So I do want to ask you this too, because you talk about your background, and then you talk about the community. Well, not so much with the community, just women that's trying to transition. Do you feel that in the near future that you will get involved into the community? And if so, do you think it'll conflict with your background?
I am going to get involved, and I don't believe it will because I feel that they need my input. I've been there. I've been behind those walls. I'm home. I'm successful. I have property, in a short amount of time. I feel I would be an asset. And that's another thing. When we transition into the world, they don't ask us, it's a correctional center. You're supposed to get corrected. They never asked us, well, What is your input? How did you get corrected? What did you learn? How could you be an asset out here in society? They just put us out here. Find out what's going on with us because we've been behind that wall. What can we do to make this community better? And believe me, there's a lot of smart women, you know, and they can, you know. So yeah, definitely.
Okay. Excuse me. So I do want to ask, because you just got in there, I feel like something spiritual just happened. What wise words do you have for listeners? Like that you just want to like tell somebody that maybe going through something or that have been molested, because you did touch on that subject too.
Right.
What wise words do you have for listeners? Man, forget all that. What wise words you got for these women? Like, I ain't even gonna do all that. What wise words do you have for these women?
Well, the wise word that I have for the women is that you have to be strong. You have to love yourself. It doesn't matter what you've been through, what you're going through. You got to keep going. You can't give up. You cannot give up. Be successful. I don't care what it is that you do, what your dream is. It could be something small. It could be something big. But take something small and make it big. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to be the best Lyft, Uber, Vugs driver in the world.
There you go.
Very successful with it. I love it. So be the best that you could be. Don't let nothing stop your growth. Nothing at all. And I put it like this. Everybody know how to get in contact with me. If your self-esteem is low or you just need me to lift you up, call me, contact me, knock on my door. Do whatever you need to do because I'm going to be there for you. And we need to stick together as women. We need to stick together for our children, for our sanity, for everything. We need to have each other's back instead of hating on each other. Stop worrying about what somebody else doing, what somebody else got. Step your game up and go get your own.
Hey, get your own.
Get your own. Get your own.
All right. Before we head out too, I do want to ask you. You touched. What do you have a not-for-profit right now?
No, I don't.
You don't. But do you plan on having a not-for-profit anytime soon?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Basically, I want to do this on my own. I don't want. I mean, I went and I reached out for the federal grants.
Yeah.
You know, they said no. I'm used to hearing no. No
Yeah.
means yes to me.
Okay.
That means yes. You could do it yourself.
I'm an actor. I hear no's. I'll be like, oh yeah, let's do it. All right, I'm about to come to another audition. So I understand like how that no's means yes. And thank you too for those wise words you have for the women, because you just took over the whole show too. She got in front of the camera and said, look, you better step your game. And let me just say that real quick. So I asked that. So do you watch a lot of movies by any chance?
Nope.
No.
You know what I watch?
What you watch?
I watch General Hospital at night. I watch.
That's all she
I
be
watch
watching?
I watch the OWN channel. I watch the OWN channel. I pay all
Okay.
that money for cable every month just to watch that. Yeah.
Just to watch some shows.
I don't have.
on
You know
OWN.
what? I don't have. When I work, I come home,
Okay.
I eat, I relax. I get up in the morning at 3. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna fix my smoothies. And ladies too, you are what you eat. For real.
Talk to him,
You
for
are
real.
what you eat, girl.
Man,
I'm almost 60 years old, and I know I'm fine. So you are what you
You
eat.
60? Well, you
Almost.
did. I mean, I got to do the math. Of course, you
Right.
were talking about,
Right,
80s
exactly,
and everything.
exactly.
But you do not look.
Yeah.
I ain't look. My bad, Reggie. I ain't looking at your mama like that. She's beautiful. So, you watch the show General Hospital? It's called.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you? Because I normally do a segment called Bar for Bar, and that's people giving me their favorite lyrics from a song, or that's their favorite monologues. So, do you have a favorite episode that you normally watch on there, like that you remember, like, oh, I remember when such and such did this?
You know
Nah.
what? Let me tell you who my man is on
Who-
there.
who your man is on-
Sonny. Baby. Sonny, because he a gangster.
Okay.
He in charge. He a leader like me. I'm a leader. I'm not a follower.
There
You know
you
what I'm
go.
saying? I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
leaders. He's so sexy. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I think I just watch it for him.
That's you pay cable
Oh,
just
yeah.
to watch this man.
I do. I do. I do.
Speaking of Sonny, I'm actually I do a segment on here called Push the Music. We're not going to spin any music right now until later on, but the artist name that I actually have, his name is Sonny Woods. Shout out to Sonny Woods and everybody out there. This is actually one of the Twister guys, one of his
Okay.
producers. I'm about to be spinning his songs today. It's crazy you said Sonny. So how many people do you have on board with your plan as far as the lift service? Well, not the lift service. Let me take that out. With your service, how many people do you have on plan to help you, to assist you, or is it just you?
It's just me.
It's just you?
But if anybody else, it would be my children.
Okay.
I mean, as far as the taking the class for the transportation service with the
marijuana.
with the marijuana,
Cannabis.
it would cannabis. It would definitely be my children.
Okay.
But driving every day, I have built a clientele. I have a network of women. I have women like, if you want to do non-invasive, I have women. Matter of fact, I have a girl. She's getting ready to become a lawyer. I have her. I have people to do hair. I have people financial advisors. I have a team of all women, that if you need something done in your life, or if your self-esteem is low, if you want to look good, contact me. I'm gonna get you in contact with somebody that can help you. And I have all their business cards, and we work together. And they're all sisters. And guess what? They all have natural hair. Isn't that something?
I love that.
They wearing that natural hair. Man. Yes. And they got in my car. Yes, they did.
That's what's up.
That's right.
It's crazy how the universe works and you start networking with people.
Network, yeah.
I'm going to touch base back onto the girl, Angel. I do want to talk about this because you say you're going downtown.
Yes.
So tell me about the situation. Not too much of what's going on with her, but what it is what made you want to help her? What is her situation?
Angel, she was on my first bid, and when I left, I had told her, I was like, I'm not coming back unless somebody do something to one of my kids, But so when I ended up coming back, they were all hollering out the window. They called, my last name was Triplet, thinking, Trip, who did something to your kids? I was like, shut up. And nobody did nothing to my kids. I'm just back, right? So she's a very beautiful girl, and she's in there for a murder. 30 years. Her out date is 2032. She's been there actually 18 years now. And she's got several degrees. She's very sophisticated. She's not institutionalized still after being there all this time. So I told her, I said, hey, when I go home, I said, I got you. I'm going to take care of you, but I'm going to fight for you, So me and her family, we've been fighting for her. So finally, we got her back in court. So we're going in front of the board downtown on Wednesday. I got to meet with her lawyer on 26 and King Drive tomorrow night at 6. And every month, faithfully, she's like a bill. I make sure she has money every month. But during my transition, she helped me make my plan while I was in there. She motivated me. And when I was leaving out, going to the gate, she asked me, she said, Trip, she said, let me live my life through you. And that touched me. So that encouraged me even more. This woman planning on living her life through me, So all my achievements that I've accomplished, she's on the phone. Sometimes I start crying. She'd be like, Trip, wipe them tears. You could do this. She's motivating me from prison. She is one of my cheerleaders as well, Cool. So in exchange, I'm going to cheer for her out here.
Right.
And I'm not done. I'm not done because it's so many women there, even though if they did the crime, enough time is enough time,
That's true. That is true. And then that's good that you have her by your side and she wasn't snickering at you. Yeah, because that can be a good or a bad thing when somebody say, let me live through you. That could be somebody that's just trying to get on or something like that, but she's actually being genuine.
Right.
And everything.
Right.
She helped you with your plan. She wasn't, what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Girl, you thinking too much. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
hate people like that. Like, people don't use the word hate. Me personally, like, I hate people that just want to limit themselves. But she was right there with you as you was making your plan and everything.
Definitely.
And she was trying to help you out. That's cool. I like that. Now, and I'm gonna pray for her. I hope everything goes smooth.
It's gonna take a couple of years.
Okay.
Once we meet on Tuesday, it's gonna take a couple of years. But she's been praying, and matter of fact, she's gonna get another degree on the 11th. She's been working the system.
That's good. And that's how I ain't gonna say it. Let me not say it on camera. That's what people supposed to do, work the system.
Right.
Off the record, yeah. But that's cool. So do you have any websites people can reach you at, or just on Facebook? Or?
They can reach me on Facebook.
Okay, and that's Adrienne Phillips. Okay. And I honestly, man, I would love for you to have a website and have an event for you to bring all these people together in one room and y'all go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody just get to go. And there's plenty of spots out here you can do that. You know what I'm saying? That you can just politic with some people, talk to them. We're gonna chop it up after the show. I'm
gonna reach out to Andy. Me and Andy is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I know Andy from back in the day.
Tell me about
was
that
like
too.
one of my sons. Andy was
Okay.
like one of my sons. Andy was bad. Andy was bad. Yeah.
He was
But he
bad.
was a leader. He was a leader.
Okay. Damn.
He was a good guy. I'm so proud of him. He's came so good. Man, when I tell you, he doing the most and always have, like, he has so much energy and good energy.
Yeah. We seen that last week.
Yeah. He has a lot of energy. I'm going to reach out to him and work with him on some things. I'm going to talk to him about different things that's on my mind. I love Andy to death, you know. He bought furniture from me too. You know, he come in there, I know you're gonna hook me up, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because he actually helped me get furniture in my house. And I didn't even, you know, have to pay it. Like, he just gave it to me. I really
It probably was the
appreciate
furniture I sold him.
I hope not. That's crazy.
After he was done. No, he picked out some nice furniture. He got good taste.
Right.
He got good taste.
I got
good
you.
taste, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so do you have any shout outs you want to do? Like, of course, your kids.
Yeah, I want to shout out to my children.
Okay, and list all their names. Go ahead.
Oh, all of them?
Every last one of them.
Can I go by the nicknames?
You go by the nicknames
Yeah, okay,
too.
okay,
Whatever.
okay.
What you used to call them,
Okay.
they was 5,
Yeah.
whatever.
Red Dog, Mercedes, Vonnie, Jamaica, Shanetta, Bull, Cloudy, Renata. Don't let me miss none.
No, man.
Don't O'Shea.
Okay.
And if I missed y'all, I'm sorry. But I got a whole lot of sisters and brothers out there too. Shout out
Right.
to y'all, and I want to thank y'all for all y'all support. I mean, so many people have supported me. You know, I have sisters, Helena, Pamela, Sophia.
Go ahead. This is my show. Give all the shout outs. Yep. Go ahead.
I have so many sisters out there that supported me. Brothers, exes, all my exes, you know.
Shout out to all your exes.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
I can get no shout out to my exes. All y'all. Go ahead.
I love them all.
That's
You know,
cool.
I
That's
have
cool.
my few favorite, you know.
Okay.
Like I said, I had a whole lot of support from one of them, Lavelle, fulfilling my dream with building that house. He had my back. you know.
Okay.
I worked his nerves, but he had my back. You know.
Definitely. And shout out to all the women that's been checking in, or just somebody that's trying to get their stuff together. Reach out to her. If y'all, want to see where she's at, I'll put the link below on YouTube. For as far as Facebook, she'll be tagged in the video. Hit her up if y'all have any questions. Like, genuinely, just hit her up. But don't be on no BS either. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be just messy and don't hate on the next person. Like, actually hit this lady up. She's serious. We had a full-blown conversation when we first talked. I was on my way to this show I was doing, playing Ike Turner, and I was in my Uber, half my Uber drive, like, she just talking, no problem at all. I loved it because she was letting me know of what it is that she's trying to do, and I love that. And that's what I want to bring not only to the show, but just to the city of Aurora. Because what it is that I want to do is have the kids, the youth, get more involved into the arts. Like, whether it's painting, music,
Whatever
acting. No acting program is out here touching to the minority. Not touching no black kids. No touching no Latino kids. So it's ways to talk to people and get to know things. Hit her up. Do you have anywhere people just Facebook, right?
They just Facebook. But I got one more thing to say.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I have one of my supporters here right now, Tish. Yeah, she came with me. Listen.
Go ahead, just go. No, I was just playing.
Listen, when Reggie was like, I called Reggie. I said, Reggie, you going with Mom? Mm-hmm. He was like, when? Okay. I said, yes, today at 11. 11 in the morning. I said, just forget it. Tish was like, I'll go with you. I'll support you. I'll go. So thank you, Tish.
Yeah, everybody give it up for Tish. She came through. Look at that shot. All right. So yeah, guys, make sure to follow me on Facebook, Martrell Webb, of course. And then as far as Instagram, Martrell Webb, once again, my website, martrellwebb.com. I want to give a shout out once again to the team, MK Films, behind the camera, Brian Halley, Clockworks Productions. He's on the board right now. So yeah, we're all done. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I really do. And yeah, so this is the last segment, Push the Music. And this is Seems Like by Sonny Woods featuring Jay Hayes and Slitter. And this is Make That Trail Face Radio.
Sonny Woods, roll up. Sonny Woods, roll up.
I
said it seems like all we ever do is waste time. And get too high, start talking about the last time. Yeah. We turned up, caught a vibe, we shake shots, we too drunk. We off and on with this that shit I love. What you want and then you pull up. I said it seems like all we ever do is waste time. But this that shit I love. And shit I love. Yeah, this that shit I love. Yeah, I love. Ooh, this that shit I love.
Time and time again, we wasting time again. You cross my mind again, we crossing that line again. We've been at this for so long, off and on so strong. But that's that shit I love. We barely talk over the phone, cause I know that we both get the message. IGDM a snap or a text, and ain't none of our media social. We so out for how we be connected. No neglection, I can't turn it down. When we link, ain't no turning us down. I can't focus when you come around. I don't know if it's you or it's me, but I'm way too young to be feeling like this, and I'm way too drunk. We just killed the whole fifth. Anything possible, me right on top of you, only thing logical. That's that shit you love. How you eat on daddy dick, babe, you got a top on you. That's that shit I love.
I said it seems like all we ever do is waste time. And get too high, start talking about the last time. Yes. We turned up, caught a vibe, we shake shots, we too drunk. We off and on with this that shit I love.